This £30 knife has been in my pocket on my keys every single day for 730 days straight. Now that is 2 years. I've abused it, dropped it, and forgotten about it. And what happened honestly shocked me. We'll see an image of what it looked like on day one at the top here. Absolutely immaculate condition. And this is the abuse I've put this thing through. Now let me show you something that no one talks about. Now, I bought this off the recommendation of many other YouTubers and friends and knife enthusiasts that love the Victorinox Rambler. And I must say, I have not been disappointed in this one bit since I picked it up. Nearly 2 years now since I've been using, abusing, carrying, loving, and having this on my keys. It's really taken the absolute punishment. And in this video, I'm going to go through some of the results, things that really surprised me, the failures, the sort of the value of this, and my sort of final verdict at the end. So this is the results of 2 years worth of everyday carry. The cellar door, once shiny, glossy, is now sort of pitted, scratched, dulled. And you will notice my original version of this was red. Now this is the same knife. I did change the scales after, kind of running it over and pretty much road rash the entire one side. And black was available to me, so I went with the black one. Now most of the tools, excuse me, have fared incredibly well. Now there's some that haven't had as much use as the others. This has got a couple of scratches on it. This has been used for small screws, things like that. The knife has taken the brunt of the scratches. You can see it's not terrible, but you can see them around the edge there. Sharpening marks, opening boxes, whatever really. It's just done absolutely everything. Within reason, of course. I've not been sort of batoning wood with this, but it's done all of my everyday tasks I've ever asked it to. The scissors, fantastic condition, still work as good as they did on the original day. And also the nail file, one of my favorite go-to tools. Although my hands are an absolute state from working on knives, the nail file really saves me. When I get jagged edges, I can sort of file them down during the day. Now there's one tool that has really surprised me over the course of these 730 odd days, and that is the scissors. They're small, they're sort of insignificant, not made out of the hardest steel, but they remain as sharp today as they ever have done. Just got some paper here. There is nothing wrong with these things, and I've been cutting paracord and all sorts, and they are absolutely as good as day one. You can see they may have taken a little bit of scratching. I've touched them up every so often, but they have not failed. The spring has been absolutely superb. The next biggest thing that really surprised me was how much I've used the nail file. Now, when I first put these on my keys, I wasn't working with my hands as much, so I didn't really have the need for the nail file. It was mainly for the flathead that I liked. But after the last sort of year or so, the nail file has really come into its own, and it's something that I find pretty much a necessity now on any Victorinox Swiss Army knife that I carry. And being on this Rambler means it's going to stay my #1 keychain multi-tool little pocket knife. Everything about it is superb. It all works as it should. All I've really had to do is oil the joints, sharpen up the blades, and just touch up here and there. Now, as I mentioned at the start, not everything was positive about this. There has been some failures. Not that actually of the knife, more of my own. So within about a month of originally putting this on my keys, I was doing some sort of work on my car, and it sort of, they must have fallen out of my pocket or something like that. And I can't remember if the car sort of rolled over them, or I pulled off the drive and just sort of ran them over, and it just really damaged up the scales. They were, I know this is sort of that pocket worn look, which I actually really like on this, but they were deep gouged. It had a bit of a crack here by the toothpick or the tweezers, And then, you know, I took the opportunity to replace them with black tools, and I did put the black scales on there as well. But since that, absolutely nothing wrong with it. The scissors held up perfectly. The keyring is still as tight as it was, moves freely. Nothing has been sort of gunked up. Now, I have cleaned it for the video. It's normally absolutely filthy. I just sort of wiped it over with a brush just to get some of the lint and dirt out of the joint. But that is honestly it. Now, would I recommend this? That is the question, and I'm going to tell you why I think every single person should own a Victorinox Rambler over the much-loved Classic SD. With the addition of the combo tool, having a cap lifter, the wire bender, and the magnetic 3D Phillips, all with adding very little weight and width, it becomes the ultimate keychain Swiss Army knife. Now we're going to talk about the value of this and how much value you're going to get from this knife. Now, although it may be £30 to purchase up front, technically one of the pricier 58mm models, but I have been using and abusing this for just about 2 years' time. And if you do that in knife math, and by that I mean how much you've used it to how much it's cost you an actual day, it's a matter of pennies. This thing is practically paying for itself at this point with the amount of use it's had. And I really do recommend you picking this thing up, because in comparison to coffee or even buying a Netflix subscription, this is going to cost you a lot less to use, because you will have it every single day, carry it and love it every day. Now, this should be on your keychain always. Should you buy one? My honest answer, yes. Would I buy another one if this one was lost, broken, or damaged beyond repair? Yeah, more than I would ever buy anything else. This would be the one I would go for. But don't take my word for it. Go and pick one up, or go and watch many of the other reviews on this particular Swiss Army knife. They're all saying the same thing. The Victorinox Rambler dominates the sort of EDC community for a small, lightweight keychain carry. I really hope you enjoyed my 2-year review of the Victorinox Rambler. These are available on Amazon for around the £30 mark, and I think they're about $35 in the States, which is a very reasonable price for the amount of tools and the amount of use you're going to get out of this little tool. I really hope you enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be made aware of videos when they drop. Have a wonderful day. Peace out.